Darling, darling, baby. Hey, hey. Sup, Star fam? How are we doing? We're back again today. Back again. I think, what are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow is Love After Lockup and Love is Blind. I know I was supposed to do Love is Blind tonight, but I just don't have time. So that will be tomorrow, probably late afternoon, and then later that evening, Love during lockup. I'm liking Love during lockup, but I'm missing Love After Lockup. I really, really am. How are y'all doing? How are y'all feeling? What shows are you excited to get into? How did you feel about this episode? Let's discuss. Black Lavender. Yes! Ready for the mask! How are you doing, Black Lavender? Black Lavender also said, Pastor Kyle should have went on the honeymoon with these couples because some of them have been having problems since they said I do. Absolutely. And to those who watch my Love is Blind reviews, I have realized that I have completely confused Marriage at First Sight and Love is Blind. I now know the order of Love is Blind because I forgot that the marriages are in the end. I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot that they go on like a little mini honeymoon, then they live together, and then they decide if they're going to get married in the end. I forgot about that. I was like so confused, but now I got it together. Hey, Bettina said they should have sent Dr. Pepper in instead of Pastor Kyle to hold Alyssa accountable. Shaking my head. She would have held Alyssa's gaslighting feet to the fire. She would have. What's up, Dr. M? Dr. M said Dr. Pepper should have been there. She should have told Alyssa off. I hate the fact that Alyssa keeps on saying she's a good person. Black Lavender said Michael and his wife need to get their stuff together too. They sure do. What's up, Tony? Hey, midwife Crystal. Hey, Candace. What's up, Otessa? What's up? What is up? What's up, Connie? Hey, love like you are. I'm so glad you're here. What's up, Courtney? Courtney says, so glad I caught alive. Normally, I'm the replay gang. You are so welcome. We're so glad that you're here. Tony said, Nikki, I just think of the felon game anytime I see Love during lockup. I know. Listen, it's dead, right? It may be resurrected because I think I found a way to do it where it won't vex my soul. I think I found a way to do it. And where not only will it won't vex my soul, it'll be permission. Like I'll be able to actually use these people's like images and stuff. Because I realized after I was doing it, I was like, I didn't ask them to put their stuff on my page, right? We were having a good time, but I'm thinking about it, I'm like, there should be consent here. So I'm working on something. Give it time. It might be back when Love during lockup comes back. We will see. Thank you, Tony. Tony said, don't forget to show Nikki some love and smash that like button. Guys, if you don't do anything else, please give your girl a like. It really helps me in the YouTube algorithm. And as you know, I need as much help as I can get. These nails are embarrassing, but I got so much to do. I have so much to do. Like literally after I packed up my final bag, I'm literally going to the nail salon. I'm getting the full shebang because I deserve. Hey, Katie. Hey, So Steph. Hey, Cordelia. You know what? Y'all want me to go on Alyssa. Child, this might be Jasmina's day because she is something else. What's up, So Steph? Thank you for the super chat. So Steph said, I don't even like this show, but I love me some Nikki. Thank you. Love you too, So Steph. I can't believe I unpacked this just for you guys. I can't believe it. Oh, thank you, Tony. We had a good time. Oh my, who was the guy that everybody was in love with? Timmy the plumber. Remember Timmy the plumber? Oh gosh. Yes, Kimberly, we are back. Hey, Sophia. Sophia said, hey, Nikki Love from Toronto. Hey, what's up, Buddha 1000? How are we doing? Somebody, again, I'm having a really hard time with, because I picked up some stuff from my P.O. box, but I'm having a really hard time finding the information of who sent it. So, guys, I love it when you send me things. You listen, what woman doesn't like opening up a gift? Okay. However, I would love to give you guys, thank you. I would love to thank you, but I don't have it. I don't know if it's my post office. I don't know what's going on, but I don't have any way of contacting the person or at least shouting your name out or anything like that. I just got some really lovely gifts and I don't know who sent them. I don't know who sent them. So when you do send me stuff, please it doesn't even have to be a card. Just write on a paper, be like, this is from so and so, whatever. So I can, give you thanks. I would love to do that. Listen, I was raised right. I was raised right. This episode was something else. I wasn't ready for Chris to go. I was not ready for him to go, but I understand. He was there for the right reason. So I absolutely get it, but I wasn't happy to see him go. I felt like he got cheated and I wanted him to at least stay to get the perks of this experiment, but I get it. What's up, Pseudo? Glad that you're here. All righty. Let me get this off so we can get started. Who is the first couple that we're going to talk about? Who is the first couple? Hold on. I just have to make sure I did. Okay, I gotta shoot. I gotta go to server table. I just thought about that. Something that I wanted is on sale, and there's no server table where I'm moving. Oh my God. That's one thing. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, I plan where I'm going to live around Williams Sonoma, Server Table, Marshalls, Home Goods, and TJ Maxx. They need to be in the vicinity. Okay. And for some reason, Server Table is just not anywhere near the East Coast. And I am disappointed. I just thought about that. I have to go. What time do they close? I think they close at 9. I'll get it tomorrow. If it's still there, then it's for me. Anyway, let's get into Married at First Sight. I'm sorry, I just thought about that. And I was like, oh, I was supposed to get that today. KT said even Pastor Kyle didn't try to get him to stay and continue to be gaslighted by Alyssa. I know, but I was like, oh, I just felt bad. I really felt like he deserved better. He deserved better, and if nobody else was going to be able to enjoy this, he should have been able to enjoy this experience because he deserves. Anyway, let's get into Mark the Shark and Lindsey Bear. Just trying to get their pick. Here we go. Mark the Shark and Lindsey. This couple started off fast, and I was going to say fast and hard. No, fast and hard. No, Nikki, fast and deep. You know what? They just were all in right out the gate, and now things are starting to dry up. I gotta find different wording. But they started off hot. Now things are starting to cool off. I really did feel bad for Mark the Shark and the whole bed bugs thing. I did feel bad for him, but I was Team Lindsey on this one. You get one bed bug in your place, not that I know. I've heard some horror stories, right? I've read some reviews at hotels that I was trying to stay at, and the nightmare that people have gone through over bed bugs, and termites. I don't ever want to go through that, right? So I understand where Lindsey was coming from. Like, I'm sorry, these are your things, but you got a bed bug infestation. How do you get bed bugs anyway? You got a bed bug infestation. That stuff just can't go. And she was like, what can you not part with? Everything else needs to go in the trash because you don't want to take that to another home and another infestation starts. And it's just the whole cycle over and over and over again. I feel bad, but that stuff would have been burned. We would have burned all of that stuff in a fire pit in the back. It wouldn't have been coming in my little studio apartment. Mark loves quotes. Did you notice that about Mark the Shark? Like every wall had a quote on it. It was giving real, bohemian chic. I was like, look at Mark in this 14-year-old apartment. Like it was giving like young girl bohemian chic. Like every wall had a quote in cursive on it. The little wall stickers. It was actually kind of cute. I was just thinking of Mark the Shark putting up wall stickers. You can do it. Keep going. Bad beats. Whatever they put on their walls. But I was just like, oh, cute. Look at Mark the Shark putting up his little sticker quotes. Let's talk about how the more time Mark the Shark spends with Lindsey, the more he gets exhausted with her. This is why I was disappointed in him when he had sex with her. Because from what we've seen, we knew that Lindsey was all in from jump. Like Lindsey was like, once I get married, I'm married. Like that's it. And Mark is still in the space where this is an experiment. I'm moving a little slow, but you're still having sex with her. And unfortunately, men, for a lot of women, sex is like an intimate experience, right? We just don't wake up erect. Can we just be real? There are things you have to do to get us to that certain place. And then when you get us to that certain place and there's that intimacy, it means something, right? Now, there are times when you just, go for a nice little bang, but this is a marriage to Lindsey. Like, this is not an experiment for a TV show. She is in it. And I just think that her and Mark are not on the same page of where they're both at in this relationship because she's all in and now he's starting to pull back. But you can't start to pull back from her after you bang her every which way on your honeymoon, right? Because now she's thinking this is my man and we are locked down and you're like, well, I don't really know if I want to live with her. That's not okay. And I love Mark the Shark, but it's just like you saw how she was from jump. And you still became intimate with her. You have to take some responsibility for where Lindsey is. Because in a sense, sleeping with her and still having apprehensions, even though it felt right in that moment, your mind still was pretty much the same with her. You still were taking it slow, having apprehensions, but you were being intimate with her. And we have all learned on this show, if you are not sure about the person you are matched with or, married to for this show or for this experiment, you should not be intimate with them because it confuses the situation and somebody will feel led on and betrayed. Hello, Zach and Michaela. Y'all need to learn from season 13, learn from season 13 and season 12, learn from those relationships. If you are unsure, do not have sex because somebody in that relationship is going to think that you sleeping with them means that you were all in. Wake up, Mark the Shark. He's still my fave though, but I was just like, you gotta stop having sex with her if you're not sure. Because, she doesn't think that. Because you guys are banging and you're loving on her and you're still in this experiment. So she's like, he's there. She's finding out all this stuff from Pastor Kyle when y'all get together and you're expecting her not to be frustrated. Come on, Mark, do better. I also think that this episode, Lindsey is starting to see that Mark comes with a lot. Lindsey may be a lot, but Mark has a lot of baggage, and the baggage is the people he takes care of. Mark the Shark is the kind of guy who will put everybody but himself first, and he will wear himself thin. You cannot wear yourself thin for everybody else outside of your marriage and your family, right? You as a husband have to be in a position where the world doesn't get the best of you and your wife and your kids get the least of you. They should be getting the best of you. The world should be getting what's left. And I think he has to learn how to switch that dynamic or he's just not going to have a successful relationship or a successful marriage, even if it's not with Lindsey. He just gives so much of himself to everybody else, leaves nothing for himself, and then you come home to your wife and you're depleted, and taking out what little frustration you have on her because you don't have any more energy to deal with Lindsey or whatever she comes with, because you've given so much out to everybody else. No, you and your home is your first priority. He needs to learn that. And I think he does have a great partner who will watch out for him and check him and be like, absolutely not. Like Mark needs a wife who will be like, no, or a partner, whatever he wants to do. But he needs a partner who would be like, no, don't pick up that phone call from your landlord. You don't live there anymore. Why is she calling you at this time of night? No, you cannot loan your friend $6,000. I know you've done it before, and I know he's paid you back, but we're stopping that right now. No, you can't give them this. No, you can't go there to help this person out. It's 2 a.m. They can call somebody else. You are home with your wife. And not saying that he shouldn't do those things, or if he feels inclined to, that he should not do those things for the people that he loves. But it seems like people take advantage of him because he's always that phone call. He's always that guy who will be there. And then he's on top of that, he's also dealing with a very sick grandmother. So it's just like he has a lot going on, and he needs to scale it down because he has to be present with his wife. If you can't be present with your wife, don't sign up for the show. When the show came a knocking, you should have been like, I got a lot going on right now. I can't do it. It's not Lindsey's fault that you wear yourself thin, and you should let her be the wife that you need, Mark. You really, really should, because she wants to do it. But you keep on blocking her out because you're like, I don't need help. Bro, you need help. We all do. You absolutely need help. But I think, Mark wearing himself thin and then coming home and being snappy with her, that's weighing on Lindsey, because she's like, I ain't do nothing wrong, but love you. So like, why are you taking everything out on me? Don't give everybody else what you should be giving me. And that's very, very true. So when Pastor Cal meets with, first of all, when Pastor Cal meets with all these couples, it takes a bit of time for him to get here. But every meeting that he had with the couples on this episode, Pastor Cal started off like this. So what kind of season we're going to have. When you are first meeting with the couple, the first thing you do is, I think by episode 2, he's going to be taking off his glasses because he's been rubbing his head this entire episode. They already got him stressed. Episode 2, he's taking off the glasses. He's going to be looking in bewilderment. He's going to be like, I no longer approve of these relationships. Everybody get divorced. He's already done. And this is the first time that he has sat down with the newlywed couples. My God, today, I feel like this season is going to top season 12 in messiness. And we've just begun. So in this session with Pastor Cal, Mike finally tells Lindsey that she's coming on too strong, and he's starting to back away just because Lindsey is a lot, and he still feels some kind of way. I wish they would have showed us that footage of Lindsey on the plane with Olu, and then in the car and that Sprinter, whatever happened. I wish they would have showed us that, because everybody is having this reaction to Lindsey, and I just think the viewers, we're just responding to what we see of Lindsey. And it just, for me, doesn't seem like a really bad person. And not saying that even if they show the footage, I will think that she's a bad person. But obviously, that footage is very important because everybody on this show, including her husband, had a huge problem with that, and their behavior changed towards us. So if that is something that has hugely affected this cast, we, the viewers, should be able to see it. And it's very unfortunate because we can't really make a clear decision on how she's being treated or how she's reacting to other people. If it makes sense, if it's out of order, like, we can't really make that call because we don't have this footage that has affected everybody. I don't know. Maybe it was just so awful. She would just look really bad and they didn't want to put it on the show. I don't know, but I feel like that's a huge thing that was left out. And it's unfortunate because everybody's talking about it, but we can never make it, we can never come to our own conclusion about it because we'll never be able to see it. Let's move on to Katina and Olu, who I'm actually starting to warm up to. I am actually starting to warm up to this couple. And I didn't think I would. I did not think I would. I thought that they were perfectly matched in a bad way, right? I think they're very similar, but I just didn't think that Olu and Kat would be the sensible couple. They're pretty much the sensible couple. They will have their moments, but I just can't believe that these two are the voice of reason on the season. Who could have called that? Who could have called that? I could have never called that. Another thing I could never have called was Olu having a house, right? And also him having this like style of like a black grandmother from the East Coast. His style is very black grandma, late 60s, early 70s, from either the East Coast or like the beginning of the South, right? Right on the cusp. You know what I mean? A Southern grandmother, like right on the cusp of the South. That's what it gives me, because when Kat walked into his home, she was just like, what's up with the coffee? The coffee curtains. What bachelor has coffee curtains? My grandmother has stuff like that. It was just so weird that was his style, and that he actually had a house. I will say the only home that I wasn't surprised by was Noi's home and Lindsey. I knew that Lindsey will live in something like that. That's Lindsey to me. I knew that she would live in something like that. I will say, Lindsey doesn't look like somebody who's as neat as she is. She really doesn't give that. And not saying that she looks dirty, but she gives me just real go with the flow. Oh, I'll get it tomorrow, right? Lindsey is not that girl. She is not that girl. Her personality and her look is totally different from like who she actually is and what she actually gives off. I would never peg her as the sustainable girl. Throwing away all the plastic, don't make it Mark throw away all the plastic and turn everything over to glass because she wants to save the environment. I would never get that from her. She is so layered, and I love that. I love that about Lindsey. But Olu's home, I would have never guessed that. You could have never told me that was his home. His mama's, is his mom white? No, his mom is white. No. His grandmother on his dad's side. Absolutely, but not him. Or maybe that was his grandmother's house and he inherited it. And he just decided not to change anything. Maybe that's it. But I would have never called that as his home. Because he gives me gentrified apartment teas, right? He gives me like an up and coming neighborhood kind of guy. Like he would live in a place that has like a really nice gym and is close to like restaurants or fast food places because he doesn't cook. That's what I got from him. I would have never thought that he had a home. Pastor Cal, I disagreed with him when he was, in a sense, encouraging Kat and Olu to be intimate. And I would have never thought that Olu was the one who was holding out. This guy is shocking in the best way possible. But I'm like, Lindsey and Olu, how they represent themselves is not who they actually are. And it's very fascinating. But Olu was saying that he wants to wait to be intimate because he wants to make sure that this is the real deal. And Pastor Kyle was like, oh, that's why I don't want you to think like that, because you are married. You are husband and wife. You can consummate your marriage. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I am here for Olu waiting because sex complicates these relationships. Because a lot of these people are on this show for the show or as an experiment. They're not, a lot of these people are not like, oh, I'm in a marriage, I'm locked down. Everybody ain't Chris. Chris was like one of the only people who was just like, I'm really here to find a wife, right? I think everybody else is like, this is something I can get out of at the end of the season. Still having that door, right? That way out. Not saying that they're not serious, but I think a lot of them are seeing this like, at the end, I can make that decision. A lot of them are not going into this and being like, this is me locked down for life, right? So I was pretty much okay with who I thought it was Kat who was holding back, but it's actually Olu. Girl, not you trying to get the penis. You just met him and his dirty drawers. Anyway, I just really disagree with Pastor Kyle because I'm like, they need to wait, right? They need to wait because if this is not a good fit, why complicate it even more with sex? You're a whole pastor. Why are you encouraging this? Where is your church? Where is your church? I am disappointed. Let's just get it out the way. Let's get to Alyssa and Chris. Yikes. I was here for the Petty King, Chris. I was absolutely here for him moving into that apartment because if you remember, at the end of last week's episode, he said she can move in if that's what she wants. If she wants the apartment, I don't care. So to see him with a whole luggage moving into the apartment, being like, I signed up for this, so I'm going to commit to the process. What I think is that Chris knew that he was out, right? And I think that he moved into the apartment to enjoy just a few perks of this experiment before he left. I think he moved into that apartment, hung out with a few people, enjoyed some of the restaurants from the show stipend, had a really good time, put his feet up on a coffee table, watched his games, slept in this cute little Airbnb, and then was just like deuces. That's what I think he did. And why not? He deserves it. You know what I mean? I feel like he was one of the only people who really came into this process serious and committed, which is why he left so early. Because the ones, for me, I could be wrong, but the ones who still stay in this process, hello, Chris and Paige, knowing that this is not a match, knowing that this will not work, it's giving, I want this check, I want this TV show. And I like Paige, but I just have to be honest, watching that season, there was no reason for her to stay. And then Chris airing everybody out in the stories, his Instagram stories, stuff just started to make sense. And it was giving scam. It was giving scam. And I don't get that from Chris. And it was partly one of the reasons why I don't get it is because he left. He left this show, cut his paycheck in half, like hugely in half, and, lost a lot of camera time. But that wasn't what he was on this show for. And unfortunately, he got Alyssa. So I was here for him moving into that apartment, that last week's episode he gave Alyssa, having a good time, enjoying it for as much as he could, and then getting out. I think he just slept on it and was just like, hell no. I'm not going to let her have this good time while I'm over here miserable. And good for him. The fact that Alyssa's mother was trying to get her to stay married to Chris told me everything that I needed to know. Even everything that Alyssa said to her when Alyssa was like, oh, he's mean to me. He treats me bad. You really think a mother would say, oh, stay in that relationship? She knows her daughter. So she said, try to make it work. He's a handsome guy. He's a good guy. Try to make it work because she knows what her daughter brings home, right? She's been through these relationships before with her daughter. And at the end of the day, she wants her married and to be somebody else's problem because mother is old. She is in her golden years. She don't feel like the emotional roller coaster that is Alyssa. She wants to be done raising her children. She wants her out. Because I'm like, Alyssa was moving like she was homeless. I feel like her mother gave her a 30-day notice at the wedding reception. That's how she was acting. So I think when she sat down with her mom, I was just like, well, this is it. We know who the problem is. Because what mother would tell her daughter to stay in a situation like this if it wasn't healthy for her? She knows who her daughter is, and she is literally willing to, force her daughter back into this relationship with a whole stranger. Then let her set herself free. Says a lot. Alyssa's not attracted to Chris. Alyssa never wanted to be married to Chris. Alyssa still married Chris for the experience. Here's why. She changes her reasons why she does not like him, why she doesn't think that they're going to be a match or work out every episode. This episode now is, oh, he wants to defund the police. It's always something. He's abusive. I don't like the way he holds his hands aggressively. He's mean to me. He talks down to me. He treats me poorly. He makes everybody think that I'm a bad person. When those things don't work, when there's no proof of how terrible this guy is treating you, when even the producers are just like, he's not doing anything, he's just standing there. There's nothing that he's doing that's aggressive. When all of a sudden, all the lies that you are putting out about this man, when nothing is sticking, then you go on camera. You know that I'm pro first responders. You know how we are. You know how our family is. And I could not be with somebody who would say defund the police, and he put it out there on Instagram. Like, I couldn't, that just didn't work for me. Her mother is listening to her, right? And even after Alyssa go through all of that, her mom was like, make it work. She has given her mother so many excuses. Now she tried to pull at the mother's heartstrings with the police and the first responders, and she was like, I hear you. Make it work with him. Like, girl, you're not coming back to my little studio. Woo, Jesus. Hello. Can I help you? Well, you should knock on somebody's door before you just come in. I'm gonna get a lock. Where was I at? Yes, so Alyssa's lies. So now it's the first responders and the police and all the girl. You don't like him, and you keep on trying to throw out these things that you hope will stick. Now you're throwing out the defund the police Instagram post that Chris put up, because now you want to turn the viewers against him because you know that you're going to be looking a mess. You even said it to the producers. I don't want to look like I'm a bad person because I'm a really good person. So you're trying to manipulate the audience with this. And when I say that, do you know who watches this show? Because I don't think Chris putting up that defund the police post on his Instagram is working away against him the way you think it is. Like, I think for a lot of people, they were like, oh my God. I think a lot of people liked him more. So I feel like everything that you're trying to do is just not working. It's not sticking. And I will say, I love the fact that the producers are really working with Chris to make sure that the world sees, who watches this, that he's not that guy that she's trying to paint him out to be. Because right after we have that scene where Alyssa is throwing out, the defund the police Instagram post, Chris is sitting with his friend who's a police officer, and he's like, you know how I feel. You know how I feel about society and the things that need to change. And she's trying to make that another issue when she's giving people multiple issues. We don't have the same values. We don't have the same political beliefs. And it's always something, but she never tells me one thing or a few things so we can fix it. It's always something. She just does not want to make this relationship work. And I'm glad that they left that scene in there, because even, if some people would have looked at Chris negatively because of what Alyssa is saying, we were able to get the truth from Chris with somebody who's a first responder, who's a police officer, who actually gets what he was saying. It won't work. It won't work, sis. Everything you are trying to do against him will not work. Chris is the definition of the weapons you form against me will not prosper. He is the definition of that scripture, because none of these weapons are prospering. None of these weapons are prospering. So anyway, Chris and Alyssa finally meet with Dr. Kyle. Before I go there, I just thought about something. Jasmina, do you know how your bestie Alyssa feels about what's going on in the nation right now? Because from that little comment by Alyssa, I just feel I got it, right? When she made that comment, I was just like, yeah, I kind of already knew who you were. I just needed the confirmation. Like, my ancestors already let me know who you were. I just needed the confirmation because she always hit me right here in the ancestors. And then I got that confirmation. Yasmina, do you know her beliefs? Are y'all on the same page, or are you just finding this out now? Because y'all buddy. But do you know how your friend feels about situations that concern you? Okay. Let me know, sis. Anyway, they sit down and they meet with Pastor Cal, and I will say I was shocked. I was shocked because Alyssa, I think she, from Chris's energy, because Chris every other time was trying to make it work, right? Talking to her, saying, what can I do? What do we need to do this? When she meets him, he's like, hey, just done, right? And I think she knew that because all of a sudden she starts talking about, yeah, I had these issues, but now I'm willing to make it work. I think she started saying all that stuff because she knew that Chris was checked out at this point, because she's saying all this stuff about how she wants to make it work and how, she knows that she can do better. And she's had some time to think about it, and she's talked and she's met with some people, and Chris is just sitting there. I think she got the memo. Because Pastor Kyle was like, okay, Alyssa, I hear you, Chris. Chris was like, I want a divorce. There was like no back and forth, no convincing. He was like, she wants to be here for the show. I want a divorce. Baby, it was done. Pastor Kyle was like, well, all right. Yeah, we can't do nothing further. And Alyssa started crying because she saw that apartment, she saw the cameras go, she saw the group trips go. She knew it was done. She knew she could not be in that apartment hanging with her besties anymore, or she wasn't even able to move in. She knew this opportunity was gone, and she immediately started crying. And how I know that she was crying over those opportunities and not Chris, because when Chris said that he wanted a divorce, she was like, and then Pastor Kyle was like, well, that's it. There's nothing more to be done. That's when she broke down, because she knew that there was no way after Pastor Kyle said that this could be fixed, that this could be mended. Sis, you played your hand too early. You played your hand too early, and now you're off the show. You couldn't even redeem yourself. You know what? I don't watch the after show because we got to be real. This show is 2 hours. I can't give it another 30 minutes. So I just don't watch the after show. Let me know in the comments, has Alyssa ever been on? Has she ever been on the after show? I've seen Lindsey. I've seen Chris. I've seen Olu. I've seen Kat. I've seen Jasmina. I don't think I've ever seen Alyssa. Let me know in the comments. You know what? Because I have 2 more couples, let me at least get a few of your comments so that I won't miss so much. So I'm going to take like 5 minutes, if you will, and allow me just to get a couple of super chats and comments from the peanut gallery. Hey, Lifestyle with Abby. Lifestyle with Abby said, yep, the 3 locations we had in Atlanta closed. What are we talking about? They went bankrupt in 2020. See, this is why I'm trying. Oh, Sur La Table. Yes. And they closed the one in my neighborhood, but then they opened it back up. This is why, guys, I'm just going to take a break now in every review and just get into the comments so that I don't miss so many, because at the end, when I go up, you guys have moved on, and I just want to be at the same page with you guys. Pseudo says, bed bugs are like roaches. Once you see one, there are many hiding. Oh, burn the whole place. Ciao. Midwife Crystal said, I cringe every time I see someone who puts their suitcase on a bed. Yep. They have a suitcase holder for you in every hotel room, so you never need to do that. Hey, Lisa. Lisa said, hello, all. I'm still at work, so I can't have the audio up. I know that life. But wanted to comment for the algorithm and help Nikki get to 14 million subs by the end of 2022. Yes, PewDiePie numbers. Thank you, Lisa. Black Lavender is talking about Lindsey saying that she is 100% invested. Black Lavender, time out. You are on time out. Midwife Crystal said the way Mark handled that dinner was horrible, but when he explained it to Pastor Kyle, I could see what he meant. He should have communicated that to her then. Absolutely agree. But Tina says Lindsey only hears what she wants to hear. Mark was tearing up from being overwhelmed. And she said that he just had a run-on sentence. So dismissive of how he was feeling. I think Lindsey did that because Lindsey doesn't like correction, right? Or she doesn't like correction or rejection. So instead of hearing him, once she heard that she did something that he didn't like, she was checked out and she was immediately on the defense. I think, probably when we see them again, she'll be in a much better place because she can hear him now. She just had to calm down. Hey, Glorious Kink said, finally here for a live. Haven't watched the episode yet, but had to see what you have to say. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Rosell announced life, hey, said Lindsey doesn't know how to help without overstepping his boundaries. Yes, with somebody like Lindsey, you need to set boundaries immediately because she will overstep her boundaries. She is somebody who has to have boundaries from jump. I will say when Pastor Kyle told Lindsey and Mark, you are a lot, Mark, and Lindsey is a lot, that's why we put you together. I don't necessarily think that was the smartest thing to do. I really, really don't. I think they do have similar personalities, but I think it's working against them at this point because for somebody, you can't have two people like that, as we're seeing, because Mark is a lot like Lindsey, but he's starting to shrink because she's becoming too much. So I think them putting them together because they're too much was probably not the best way to match a couple. Just an observation. Hey, Rashana. Rashana said it happened on the plane talking about the Lindsey incident and it wasn't filmed. It was also something that happened on the Sprinter and it wasn't filmed either. I will say a lot happens on these plane rides to whatever destination that they're going to, especially the vacation destination, and we never get the footage. How can a Real Housewives get the footage from the plane but not Married at First Sight? Let me move on to another couple. Midwife Crystal said Katina seemed scared to really speak her mind around him, talking about Olu. Olu kept saying, she'll tell Pastor Kyle. I think because Katina has always been in relationships with men like that, and she always shrinks herself for the men and adapt for the men that she's in a relationship with. And that's another reason why I'm like, why would you put somebody like that in a marriage with somebody who's like the men that she's used to dating? Ratings. Hey, Bree53 said, hear me out. Lindsey was probably dismissive because she knows he's probably tapped out. Much like Zach writing Michaela off day 2, but then acting like she could somehow redeem herself. Bree, that is a great observation. Great observation. I'm going to get this super chat and 2 more comments, and then I'll get back into the review. Hey, Midwife Crystal. Midwife Crystal said, seems like Alyssa would have found her soulmate. Thank you for the super chat. You're probably right. But Tina said, Twitter found posts from Chris highlighting that he believes in Black Lives Matter, that Black Lives Matter and defunding the police. Alyssa does not and loves cowboys. We gotta ask where she was on January 6th. Y'all are a mess. Hey, Whitney said, I find it hard to believe that Olu was holding out after he was the one at the wedding, declaring that if his wife wanted it, he would give it. I still think he thinks that way, but I think that he probably really likes Katina and doesn't want to mess it up because he keeps on talking about how stunning and beautiful she is. And I think he just wants to get it right. I really, really do. And I applaud him for that. Two more and then I'll move on. Ashley said, when Chris finds the one for him, he'll look back and be thankful Alyssa didn't want him and have to end up miserable with her. And he actually did say that. And that's what I really liked about Chris. He was just like, I'm getting out of this now. I'm glad I went through the process. Like, he wasn't bitter. He wasn't upset. He said, I'm glad I went through the process because I know I'm going to be a better man for the wife that I will eventually have. Chris, you're going to get snatched up after the show. You are going to get snatched up after this show. You got a really good edit, and I think it's just because you're a good guy, but he's going to do good. He's really, really going to do good. Hey, Kamisha. Kamisha said Alyssa needs a Trump-loving cowboy that drives an F-150 because she's a good white woman. I think that's what she wants. I don't think that's what is attracted to her, and that is the problem. Let's get into Jasmina and Michael. Or is it Yasmin? I think it's Jasmina. This couple is very depressing. Very depressing. I love their wedding. After that, it's so sad watching them. It's so sad and depressing watching this couple and their quiet fights. All of their like disagreements are like so quiet, but it's so much anger and tension behind them. I'm telling you, whenever it's scenes with Jasmina and Michael, I always have to turn the volume up because it's always like, well, you said this about me. No, I don't like that you said that. Well, I didn't mean to say that about you. Well, that's what you meant. Don't talk to me. I'm getting angry. Why are you raising your voice? I ain't raising my voice. Like, what was it about this couple that made them compatible? I don't understand. It is so sad and depressing to watch them. I do finish their scenes because I do have to talk about them in this review, but I'm going to start fast forwarding their scenes because they just make me sad. And I'm not having a good time watching them. Yasmin is definitely a joy drainer, but why did Michael lie about having female roommates? Because he didn't really give an explanation. He was just like, oh, I'm sorry. I should have told you. Yeah, you should have, but she's asking you why you decided to lie about that. It wasn't like a big thing, but it was like, it does give you pause that if you're lying about that, which is something so simple, what else are you lying about? Michael, Yasmina may be a joy drainer, but I'm starting to see something in you too. And I'm waiting for this footage because I need to see if Yasmina is telling the truth. And it's not that I don't believe her. It's just I'm having apprehensions about believing her fully, right? It is believe women over here. Don't get it twisted. But seeing how Yasmina treated Michael and talked to Michael in the session with Pastor Kyle, I was like, is he talking to you aggressively before you talk to him like that? Like before you aggressively speak to him? Because when Pastor Kyle was trying to get to the bottom of what the issue was, Yasmina, Michael, don't sit up here and lie to Pastor Kyle. Tell the truth, Michael. I was like, who the hell are you talking to? I was like, who are you talking to? I just could not believe it. She was looking at him like he was short. And Michael, don't lie to Pastor Kyle. I need to see the tapes. Roll the tapes. I need to see the tapes because I'm starting to see something in you, sis. And I'm like, did all this stuff happen with Michael after you spoke to him a certain way? We're going to find out in this footage. We're going to find out in this footage if they all move in together. We will see. And they just had this really weird, dry, dark humor together where you don't know if they're joking or if they're being serious. This is not a good match. This is not a good match. We will determine who is at fault truly and honestly when we start seeing the hidden camera footage in the apartment. Until then, it's a draw for me. We're not going to sit here, Michael, and lie to Pastor Kyle. Tell the truth, Michael. What is going on? I was like, I would probably cuss you out too if I was Michael, if that's how you talk to him. Something going on. And girl, he got sisters. You couldn't talk to my little brother like that. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You couldn't talk to my little brother like that. So you better fix that. You better fix that, sis. Yeah, it's a draw. I don't know. Let's move on to Noi and Steve. Why was Steve acting like that Noi's dog Sushi was like a demonic baby? Did you see how he held the dog? He was like, oh yeah. I'm like, what's gonna happen to you? Listen, not everybody are animal people. I'm not an animal person myself, but I've held a dog before. It's not. Steve was just disgusted. Did you say in your marriage application for this show that you didn't want to be with a person that had animals? Because the way he reacted, I think that is a big issue for him, because he was talking about how he basically had a meltdown when he had to when he was babysitting his brother's dog and he had to pick up the dog defecation. I get it. I will say this though, guys. Now that I have a backyard, I'm toying with the idea of getting a puppy, a chocolate lab to be exact. I don't know what's happening. I don't know who I'm becoming, but I'm like, oh, I got a backyard. I should get a puppy. Pray for me. Because I'm not an animal girl. It's just, it doesn't work for me. So I'm a little scared, but I'm a little bit more open to it than Steve is. He is like not open at all. And Noi really is like, oh, this dog is our first baby. Like, this Sushi is going to be everywhere. She's sleeping in our bed. Steve almost vomited when she said that Sushi was going to sleep in their bed. He was like, really? Oh, okay. Yeah. He does not like animals. They have to have a conversation. Y'all have to talk about this stuff, because Steve's reaction to Sushi and the kids, like, I don't know. I liked this couple in the beginning, but now I'm real scared, especially with next week's episode, because Noi is posting on Instagram about how the relationship isn't working out. Oh my God, are we not going to have any more matches again? Is this going to be another season where none of the couples work out? What is going on with this show? Anyway, I was not surprised by Steve's apartment. I was not. I do have a question though, Steve. Are you really banging any woman in that rave apartment? I don't believe that women are that down bad that they are getting banged to neon lights. Like, you at your big age got all these neon lights, and he was just like, yeah, we can turn them down and we can turn them up to this and we can go disco. Women accept so much. I was like, more lights, more neon. What is up with the men in their 30s in neon lights? What is that? And it's just a straight man thing. Gay men don't do this. But some reason these like neon lights, these neon rainbow lights have taken over the straight male community. It's so weird. And I'm not surprised that Steve is one of those guys. Noi was like, oh, more. Noi reacted to Steve's lights the same way he reacted to Sushi. I don't know if this couple is going to work out. So anyway, they meet with Pastor Kyle, and there's a little friction about kids and money. Makes sense. This happens in every relationship. But Noi is not willing. I think this is another thing with this couple that's the problem. The both of them are not willing to compromise on anything. If you're not going to compromise, you don't need to be in a relationship, because relationships are a compromise. You shouldn't have to compromise so much where you lose yourself and you're unhappy, but you have to know that you and this person are not the same thing. So some stuff that you want, they don't want. So you have to compromise. And Noi is like, oh no, we're having 3 kids. And Steve is like, can we just get one to see if this is something that we want to do? I think Steve doesn't want a lot of kids because he knows that them traveling the world in his van and sleeping, in a van down by the river as a family, it's going to be a lot if it's 3+ children. He's saying 2 because 2 kids, him and Noi, can comfortably fit in a van and travel the world. I think that's what he wants to do. I don't know why he's not saying it. I don't know why he's not saying it, but I think he's that guy. If you watch The Bachelor, he's Dean. The Bachelorette, he's Dean from The Bachelorette, from Rachel's season. He is that van down by the river guy who doesn't want to live on the land, who wants to live off the grid and not on the land, who wants to like travel to different places, pick up the family and travel to Morocco and live there for a month. He's that guy. There's nothing wrong with that. It's very fun. It's very adventurous. But Noi is somebody who's more of a homebody, more of, my family's here. I don't want to do that. I want to start a family and live here and, get a house, have a white picket fence, live in a neighborhood that has a good school. Steve is not that guy. He's also not the kind of guy that wants to go to a 9-to-5, and she wants a husband who will do that. Now, to the people who are defending Steve and saying, well, he works as an engineer in tech or whatever, and so he has a lot of money, so he can do that. How do you know that? Steve, he's not giving me enough security that he makes all this money, that he can chill or whatever and not have to work for a very long time. He can make enough money to take off as a single man. As a husband with a wife who wants 3 kids, I don't know if he's making that kind of money. And they got to talk about that. And this is the first episode with this couple where I was just like, they might not make it. And I didn't think that before. And now I'm concerned because I don't think we're going to have any matches at the end of the season. What do you guys think? That's all I had to say. I'm going to get some more comments and then we'll wrap this bad boy up. Hey, Brent. Brent said Chris is going to have ladies lined up after this. Absolutely. Listen, let's be real. Chris, I don't know where to go for Chris, but I was like, oh, he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. I can see him charming some people, not me. You know what? He might get me with a Black Lives Matter post. Anyway, I think that he's gonna do very well. He's going another excuse. I forgot that. Thank you so much, Samantha. Remember in the episode when Alyssa was like, another reason why we won't work out is that we have 2 big dogs. I'm allergic to dogs. Not my dog, but I'll be allergic to Chris's dog. I'm like, now it's the dogs. The dogs, the police. He's aggressive. He's mean. He speaks down to me. His teeth, his body, his face, his personality, the way he breathes, the way he looks. Everything about this man is wrong. And you keep on finding these excuses when people try to talk reasoning to you. Like when everybody tries to reason to you and talk some sense into your mind, you just bring up another fake, off the wall excuse, Alyssa, why you do not like him. You're a self-sabotager and your mother knows it. She's trying to help you, but it's like you are fine with sabotaging your life. And I'm like, Mama, you in your 30s. You got to wake up. Wake up soon. Wake up soon. Hey, C. Graham. C. Graham said the way that door swung open, LMAO, the sound of it. Ashley said if Chris looked like his friend, Alyssa wouldn't what? Be mad about anything said about him? Are you trying to say that if Chris looked like his cop friend, she wouldn't mind? She's definitely a cop's wife. She's definitely a cop's wife. Absolutely. Absolutely a cop wife. Absolutely. Mary Beth said Dr. Kyle may not have called Alyssa out, but his facial expressions said a lot. Dr. Kyle didn't call Alyssa out because he knew there was no saving. I think at this point, everybody knew what she was on this show for, and Pastor Kyle was not going to try to convince Chris to stay because Why would he, right? It would be very obvious if he could try to convince Chris to stay in this relationship with Alyssa that this show was just fake and just looking for ratings and views, right? This show was just like shocking people who view this show with marital trauma from the cast. That's what it would have looked like. So there was no saving. So what could he do? What could he do? Because normally he always tries to talk people to stay in their relationship. Hello, Johnny and Bao. That's normally what he does. But at this point, he was just like, there's no saving this. So, you know what, Chris, if you want to get out, get out. Bettina said that Pastor Kyle should have asked for specific examples for how Chris was disrespectful and aggressive towards Alyssa. She would have been mute just as she was when Chris asked for examples. Again, I think they knew that there was nothing she could come up with. Because Pastor Kyle was like, I watched the tapes, you know? So he watches footage of this couples. He sits down with producers who are with these couples 24/7, and then he goes in with his opinion. So I think at this point, the whole show knew that she was scamming, and there was there wasn't another reason to keep her on. They knew what she was there for. Like I said before, she played her cards. She played her hand too early. Hey, Busola. Busola said, could this be the first time on this show that a contestant, Alyssa, actually scammed the producers as well? Chris. Remember Chris? Chris season 12? All the producers, all the experts were just like, this was not the guy that we met, that we auditioned, that we were sending, that we were chatting to for months before we got to wedding day. They said he showed up to film and he was a totally different person. So Chris and Alyssa are right up there with the scammers, the best scammers on reality TV. Love Like You Are said Alyssa homosexual self knew it was over for her. Good for Chris. Oh, Alyssa walked off the after show? What episode? Let me know. I want to see it. And was that the only one that she was on? Oh, y'all so rude. Bree says she walked off because Rudy kept her accountable. Oh, God. Thank you guys for answering. Hey, Cordelia. Cordelia said, why would they put someone with noise background with someone like Steve? Ratings. Like, guys, at the end of the day, this is a reality TV show. And this is for entertainment. At the end of the day, that is the thing that rules. Money. And with money and with that, views, ratings, that translates into money. So I'm not saying that the show doesn't want to have successful relationships. I am saying that at the end of the day, ratings and views is what matters most, not successful relationships or marriages. And to be honest with you, they are putting people who don't quite match just to see how it will play out, because you can't match people that you know will be a perfect fit, because there will be no drama. There will be no drama. There will be no mess. I don't think they anticipated a Chris from season 12, but they knew that something was going to happen with the way they put that cast together. They knew. Hey, KT. KT said, oh yeah, this is an old comment. Hey, Midwife Crystal, thank you so much for the super chat. Midwife Crystal said, every time Jasmina said, now Michael, gave me chills. She's going to be one of those mamas who puts the fear of God in those kids with only a few words. Yep. She is definitely that black mom in church who be praising the Lord and then turn around mid-Holy Ghost and get her kid together. Sit down. Sit down. Glory, glory. Hallelujah. That is her. That is Jasmina. She gonna cuss them kids out mid-Holy Ghost. Hey, Robin. Robin said, I feel like he's lying because he lied about the roommate situation. Yeah, but why is he doing all of this lying? Why is Michael doing all of this lying? It's really weird. It's really weird. Me too, Globe Hopper. Globe Hopper said, I don't like either. Well, I like them. But Globe Hopper said, I don't like either Michael or Jasmina, but I'll be sad if they break up because their families, who are absolutely lovely, were so optimistic for the match. Yeah. That's the thing about some of these couples. You really are going to miss their family dynamic because a lot of the families are rooting for these couples to work. I'm telling you, if I was on this show and my family was really rooting for me to work it out with my match, I would probably be like, well, what is going on with me? Well, y'all so ready to get me to marry this stranger. Like, what am I not seeing? What am I missing? Like, am I just picking something, right? You have to see that the people who love you, the people who raise you, the people who will die for you, the people who will fight for you, the people who will provide for you are saying, make this work with this person who we don't know, but there's something there that we think is going to be very successful and that you need. I would really look deep down and be like, okay, what's going on with me that my family is willing to, work on my relationship and their relationship with the guy that I am on this show with? Why are they willing to work on it so bad? Because I'm missing something. But that's just me. Dr. Rim said, the way Jasmina spoke to Michael reminded me of the way Viola Davis spoke in How to Get Away with Murder or Kerry Washington on Scandal. Through them teeth. Oh, Michael, don't you? I said, what are you going to do to him? What are you going to do to your husband? Like, girl. Sasha said, I think they're both aggressive, but Jasmina is being Miss No Nonsense. She is like, don't you dare come at me any type, even if I am being aggressive. The stepdad did say, don't respond. Yep. Because she keep on saying, your family told me you would be this way. But Michael never once said, your family told me the same thing. She probably would have cussed him out even more. Don't you say nothing about my Michael. Don't you say nothing about my family. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I'm getting that too. I will say, when I get my garden, a deer or two is fine. One raccoon and that garden is burnt. No, baby. I can do a deer. Can I? I don't know. We'll see. But a raccoon? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Hey, Jelly. Jelly said, how does Steve love camping in the wilderness but not a dog? I don't know. Well, you know what? He thinks about dogs the same way he thinks about kids. Too much of a responsibility. He is really in that. Steve, although he's in his 30s, he's in his right after college years, right? Where he just wants to travel, see the world, not have much responsibilities, but also do it with a girlfriend, right? Somebody that he wants, that he's in a relationship with, or that he loves and he cares for. He wants to do that with a partner. But this partner wants to have kids right away. And this partner wants to get a home and live close to her family and have her brother, Cayenne Pepper. Is it Cayenne? What's her brother's drag name? Sriracha. And have Sriracha come babysit. That's what she wants to do. But Steve is not there yet. He needs some time. And that's okay. But I just don't think it's a match. I don't think it's a match. I am, Candace. My mom was just like, so is this dog going to be going with you? Because, baby, I won't be available to babysit. So we'll see. We will see. But thank you. I'm thinking about it. I've been going back and forth. But wouldn't I look so cute with a chocolate Labrador? And I get it a nice little icy collar, a little blinged out collar. Somebody stop me! Oh God. Midwife Crystal said Steve's LED lights was like that weird guy's house obsessed with the 80s. Jacob, What's up, Jacob High? Remember y'all cussed me out about him and I was right? I was right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Black Gal said, talk about Steve. He explained his reasonings for not having 3 kids really good. Absolutely. I agreed with him. Noi was not budging at all. He was like, let's have one to see how that works. I've worked with special needs children. What if we have a kid that has, some kind of disability, some kind of special need? We need to just take it one at a time. I think that's very smart to see what you can handle. I think a lot of people go into relationships, especially marriages, and it's just like, we're going to have kids at this time, this how many we're going to have. And it's like, you get so caught up in what you think your family should look like that you are not paying attention to your relationship falling apart because you're so caught up in the idea of what you should look like that you're not putting time in to the relationship of the parents. That is the foundation of the family. It happens all the time. All the time. Just John just said, Michael specifically said that even his sisters have an issue with how he talks to women. And then and then they pair him with a woman who has an issue with how she talks to everybody. So how is this supposed to work? They both are moody. They both got bad attitudes and they both got a slick tongue. How is that relationship going to work? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. This is Elodie said, seems like Steve is doing a career change. He mentioned graphic design and photography. The way Steve was talking about getting a job, he was just like, I don't want to have a full-time job because I want to be creative. I want to do art stuff. And I'm telling you guys, it was giving me 23, fresh out of college, been spending your life, working and in school, working part-time jobs and in school. And you just need to take a break. You need to take a break from all of that. And maybe Steve was the kind of guy that, went right from college into his career and just worked. And when he got laid off, that break felt so good, he doesn't want to come out of it. That is completely understandable. Baby, you better explain that to your wife because you and her are on 2 totally different pages. She wants a traditional American family, right? Not, her culture as well, but I'm just saying she wants the husband, she wants the white picket fence, she wants the 3 kids, she wants to be home, taking care of the kids, taking a little side job, a little part-time job at Michael's when she feels like it. And Steve is just not that guy. He's not that husband. He's not the husband to do that with. He wants, like I said, to pick up his family and go and move and travel wherever he feels like, wherever he feels like going. Let's go to live on a farm in Montana for 2 months. Oh, we're done with that. Let's go live in a cave in Hawaii. That's who he is. These two are just, I feel like, and I have to be honest, I feel like the Asian people on this show always get the short end of the stick. And the short end of the stick is their culture. It's like, oh, they're both Asian, they'll work. They don't look into nothing else with these couples. And this is like the second time that I have seen this. So I have enough information. I don't need to see another Asian couple just be put together because they're Asian. Like, what else made them compatible? And I don't think the show can say. I really, really don't. I think it's just like, these two are Asian, this will work. When it really is not the case. To be honest with you, I don't know if Steve would have wanted to be with Alyssa, but Alyssa wants to be with the Steve. She likes a bro kind of guy. She really, really does. She doesn't like a buttoned up real estate dude who's uber liberal. That ain't her. She needs a bro kind of guy who's not that bright, little racist, little misogynistic, says inappropriate jokes, goes to the gym, juices, and not, veggies, that hard stuff, right? That's what she's into, right? She wants to be She wants to be the kind of girl that loves going to drag shows, right? But has like the homophobic boyfriend. And it's just like, oh no, I love gay people, but that's just how my boyfriend was raised. That's what he thinks. That's not what I think. But you're laying down with him, you're creating kids with him. You absolutely have to think the same thing if you're willing to build a life with that man. That's who Alyssa is. And I'm not saying that that's Steve. I'm saying Steve has like the bro kind of behavior that she would be attracted to. And I think that she would have tried to make it work with a Steve. She probably would have tried to make it work. No, she would have made it work with Mark or Olu. She probably would have tried to make it work with Olu. Right? She's that kind of girl. But Noi and Steve, there's nothing about them that makes sense besides the fact that they both have Asian ancestry. That's it. You have somebody like Noi who grew up impoverished, right? And the last thing that she wants to do is live like how she lived when she was growing up. She does not want to be traveling a van, pissing in porta potties with a newborn. But that's what Steve wants. How are they going to work out? I don't think we're going to have any matches, guys. I don't think we're going to have any matches. And that is any like full relationships. I think we're going to have full divorces at the end of the season. And that is unfortunate. The only two couples that I think might throw a curveball is Olu and Kat. Might. And Lindsey and Mark the Shark, because I don't think that Lindsey will let Mark go. And I think that Mark is so much of a fixer that he will probably try to stay and just rather stay with her than be that guy that broke her heart. And that's so sad. That's so sad. But that's what I think we have here. Hey, Stay Tuned Reviews. Stay Tuned Reviews said, why is it okay for Jasmina to lie and raise her voice? But when Michael does it, he's like, I turn a reincarnated. Because Jasmina, and I think that's why her and Alyssa get along, they give forever victim, right? They are always being attacked. Everybody is always wrong, but it's like you can't go to being a victim after somebody reacted to what you said or did. That's what I'm getting. And I can't say that that is the truth. I can't say that I have enough receipts to make that my full conclusion and stand on that, because I am still waiting for the hidden camera footage from the apartment. I have to see who's the problem here, because for me right now, like I said before, it is a draw between Michael. Oh wait, I'm like, child, I'm supposed to be selling something right now. Hold on. Between Michael and Jasmina. Whew. Child, y'all know I be having to get off of here when I gotta make my sales. Tracy, thank you so much for the super chat. Tracy said, Star Family, I need the check to like up this live. Also, check Instagram to watch her walk out. Who, Alyssa? Oh my gosh, you have to follow Married at First Sight People of Color. I love that page. Hey, Sean Christina. Sean Christina said, Woody and Armani made a pregnancy announcement today. So happy for them. Married at First Sight, New Orleans. Yeah, I've never watched their season, but you all have made me love that couple so much. Like I know enough to, just be enamored with them like you guys are. Hey, Ajubi said on the after show, when Alyssa walked off, Ola told it like it was about Alyssa. Olu is the Olu Olajuwon. He is the voice of reason for the season. Who would have called that? I would have never called that. But he is the voice of reason for the season, which is the only reason why I think that him and Kat will have a chance. Because I think that he is flawed, and I think he understands that. And I think that he will make the changes that he has to make Kat happy, to make his wife happy. I also think he's a bit, patriarchy got him. Patriarchy got him in a chokehold. And I think he's a bit possessive. So we're going to see, and I'm only getting that because of the trailer and what we saw in the trailer of him cussing her out for having a ladies' night. and not informing her husband. It was a little scary, his reaction. So that's my only thing. But I was just not expecting him to be the voice of reason. A lot of the characters on this show throwing me for a loop. Throwing me for a loop. Tracy said, check Instagram. Oh, were you telling me to check Instagram? I thought you were telling everybody else. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tracy.
As the dust seemed to settle between Chris, it was, and this was going to be income. I guess the viewers are just going to have to watch the show and kind of, form their own. I hate that you're upset and I hate that you're fine. I'm walking away from this conversation. As a result of, what has been shown. I was just really hoping to kind of, give your side of the story. So I'm going to get.
Oh, damn it, Nikki. I'll find it on Instagram and post it, but it's a 3-minute video. Tracy, can you put the video in the comments so people can see this too? It's a 3-minute video, and Rudy, it's absolutely holding her feet to the fire in the kindest way, and Alyssa walks out. So, oh well. Black Gal said, we had one good season, which was New Orleans, where it was a little drama and the matches were good. I think this show has leaned into the mess because I think they got some of the highest views they ever had with season 12. I could be wrong. I'm just guessing. And I think because of that, they turned a corner and they just went straight messy. But I don't think that they would have gotten so many seasons if people weren't really, there for the love story. And I think they kind of need to go back to basics, but who knows? If the money is too good with the mess, I don't see this show ever turning back. And yes, I did say yeah, and I'm from Philly. I realized that. I was like, oh, the ghetto slipping out. It is what it is. He will. I think if Alyssa shows up to the reunion, which I highly doubt, but if she does, I think Kevin Frazier will absolutely call her out. And I think she is, Bettina. I think she is going to go to the reunion because if it's a check, she will go. I think she will pull a Chris, go to the reunion, try to say her piece, and walk out. Shout out to the NikkiStar replay gang. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share the channel to your social media. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. Wendy Sims says, also for a dog, you might have to deal with their medical issues. I used to work in a place where people spend thousands and thousands of dollars a year to keep them healthy. Oh. Okay. Well, you don't got to worry about me. You don't have to worry about me. That's it for me and the dog. That's it for me and the dog. Oh no, Mimi Nick said, Nikki, you better get a greenhouse because raccoons are broke, greedy cousins of the animal kingdom. Wherever there is free food. Oh no, so they are gonna, damn it, they are gonna be in my, and I have such a beautiful place where I could put a garden. No. I knew it. It's far too much land for there not to be raccoons. Kanai, hey, said I find it funny she accepted it in the beginning at the wedding. Now she gets home in reality and wants to cry. We're talking about Alyssa. If so, I agree. If so, I agree. Jasmine said, yes, Steve has the tattoo, and that made Noi cry when she found out. So she had to wear a shirt. So he had to wear a shirt on. Does he have an eagle tattoo? Oh, child. I think she's definitely his type. I mean, I think that Steve is definitely Steve's type. I don't think that Alyssa is, no, I think, hold on. Steve is Alyssa's type. I don't think that Alyssa is Steve's type. Cargar 11 said Lindsey and Mark could could stay together and secure the bag. Hashtag TV Gold. I don't think that Mark can handle it though. I really, really, really don't. I don't think he can handle it. Let me get some. Who haven't I called on? Hey, Kimberly. Kimberly said the NOLA was luck. Production thought Woody was going to show his behind, but he ended up really liking Amani. Oh, so has this show always been messy? FR Will 26 said season 12 was ridiculous. They were a little messy, but always had at least one love story. Season 10 was almost as bad as season 13 in the terms of long-lasting matches. Uh, Taylor said, Taylor, for some reason I can click on your comment, but I just wanted Tracy to put the link in the chat so people could know what I was talking about. I mean, listen, people love me enough; they'll watch it and come back and watch it later. I don't feel no way. I'm not insecure. I know what I got. Hey, Robin. Robin said, I feel like the children topic is too soon for Steve. He gives me, let's know each other first, likes and dislikes. I feel like if he fell for Noi, he would want children. I can agree with you there, but I'm at the point where when a man says something, just listen. You know, when anybody in the relationship says something, just listen. I think compromising on children and finances just never works. And like where you want to live, like that stuff just never works. I don't see Noi wanting to live far away from her family. I don't see Noi wanting, to live in Croatia with the kids, for a year while Steve works remotely and they travel all over. It sounds great, but Noi wants to be close to her family. I just don't see them work. They're not a match. They're not a match. Oh, Brie, am I saying her name wrong? Is it Inoi? 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 Am I saying it wrong? Let me know. Yikes. Yikes. What's up, Bombshell Blur? Bombshell Blur said, no, it's a lion tattoo. But they had her say eagle lay there. Ooh. Child, was Steve her match? This show was so messy. This show is so messy. This show is messy. Tony said, this is how it ruined a couple of Married at First Sight Australia, and the girl, Holly, got pretty much cussed out by a douchebag because she wanted kids. Kids is a big thing, absolutely. Noi is not budgeting on 3. Steve is not even sure about 1. That's a huge thing. That is a huge thing. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bree. I'm going to get Bettina and then I'm going to wrap it up. Phil, listen, it's too exhausting. It's too exhausting. This show is 2 hours. This is not my only 2-hour show that I review. It's too much. It's too much. I watch clips on Twitter, but the 30 minutes after watching 2 hours, ciao, I can't do it. I cannot do it. Let me get Bettina and then I'll wrap it up. Bettina said, I think Alyssa is Steve's type in looks, but not in personality. I wasn't sure if Steve would be into Noi because 1, his mom is white. 2, we know some Asians only date white people. Oh my God. It's Love is Blind, for example. Listen, I can see some truth there, right? But people say that a lot about the Black community, right? But we just don't. When you do the numbers, there's not a lot of interracial relationships out there in the Black community, right? But I think enough people talk about it where it's such an outrage. And the same thing within the Asian community. There's like not a lot of interracial relationships in the Asian community. I think pretty much Asian people within their specific culture stay within their culture. But I do see Steve probably wanted to be with somebody white because his mom is white, because why wouldn't you, right? The first woman he fell in love with was a white woman. So I get it. But I can also see him, wanting to be with an Asian woman. And look how, he was very much attracted to Noi. And I think the turnoff is just going to be their personalities and where they want to be in life. They're just not on the same page. And this I don't see this working. I don't see this working. I do. You know what? What's funny, guys? I do have the after show on DVR. I can't bring myself to watch it. I'm gonna make a promise. Not next week, but the week after next, when I'm like settled and chill, I will attempt to watch the after show. I said attempt. I didn't say I would. Attempt. Since you guys are saying it's really important, I'll give it a shot. Stay tuned review said, I think Olajuwon should have been matched with Lindsey. What? Mark should have been matched with Noi. I can actually see that. Michael should have been matched with Kat. I can't see that. And Chris should have been matched with. Oh no! Chris should have been matched with Noi. Chris and Noi would have been a great match. Jasmina and Olu. No, I think Olu and Kat were the perfect match. I just think that their match was probably too soon. I think they would work out at 39. If they were both 39, I think they will work out. 35 to 39, I think they will both work out. I think right now, no. But late 30s, early 40s, they would be ready to do it. But I just don't see them being ready right now. Michael. I can't see anybody from this cast working with Michael. I can't see anybody from this cast working with Jasmina. I can't see nobody working with Mark. I think that Chris and Noi, in my opinion, were the best match. That wasn't matched. But everybody else, I think pretty much works. Okay, family, I got to get out of here. I still have so much to do. I don't want to do it, but this is life. Welcome to adulthood. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you all so much for joining me for this week, for the rest of next week, and for the rest of this week and next week. I'm going to put my lives up the day of, just because my life is all over the place right now. March, probably the second week of March, I'll have a better set schedule. But right now, please just make sure you watch my Instagram stories, or you watch the community tab right here on YouTube. That is where I will share the YouTube lives that I am doing daily that day. So thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to join me. I had a great time hanging with you all for the past couple of hours. I love our time together. I would stay longer, but your girl gotta go. Love y'all. See you soon. I hope you enjoyed the new format. The only reason why I'm starting to answer questions now, like during my review, is because I just don't want to be so far behind when I finally catch up with you guys, because I just think that takes more time. So starting today, starting from this chat on, I will just be taking a break in the middle of the review to just answer some questions, about 5 or 6 minutes or so. I hope you don't mind, those who like to watch the review straight through. I'm trying to make it work for the entire audience. Let me know if you have any suggestions. Other than that, love you. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Love is Blind and Love during lockup. Those two. Will I do another? Probably not tomorrow. Friday is jam-packed, but I'm going to take some time to meet with you. Love y'all. Bye. Night.